Hey guys, so as you probably already know, I've been like in my last video, I talked a little bit about the fragrances thing that I'm like that I have that I was having at that time when I made that video. I've been like hunting for fragrances recently a lot. Mm, I've been watching a lot of these YouTube channels, Jeremy Fragrance, Jensen's, Red Adolescence, and Demi Rawling, and so many other channels are there. Fragmental, like it's very interesting this fragrance thing, and I've been going to different malls around Sydney, and then um, testing myself a lot of the fragrances that they usually generally talk about. The YouTube channels that I mentioned, mostly it's like these typical Armanis and Chanels and whatnot. And after I mean I've been doing this for like I don't know since how long since I made the last video, probably around a month or so, I guess. And I've found like three different three fragrances. I bought like actually four fragrances, but I'll tell you what I mean. That I found really interesting and I like these fragrances a lot. So I'll just quickly tell you, this is not like a top three or anything like that. These are just like my favorite fragrances currently, and I'll just tell you quickly why I like them. And you probably already know all of these fragrances if you've been following other YouTube channels, right? So this is just I'm just getting started on this fragrance journey, and I have enrolled for a perfumery course as well. Hopefully I'll do more of these videos if once I get to know about the perfume and the perfumery and the perfume making and everything. I think I'll be able to better review or react to fragrances or whatever. So as of now, I'll just give you guys the three fragrances that I currently own, and I really like a lot. The first one is Yves Saint Laurent, La Nuit de l'Homme. This gets talked about. Oh man, wow! It's such a divine smell this one has got. I think this will probably remain my favorite. It smells so wonderful. I'm not an expert on fragrances, so I don't know the note composition and everything, but wow, this smells great. It smells it smells amazing. I don't know how to explain, but this is probably the only fragrance that I like that I like. For example, it was like beyond my expectations, like because I go to these malls and then these Myers and David Jones, and then I start smelling fragrances because you have high expectations, right? When all of these fragrance channels rate Dior Sauvage or Bleu de Chanel or Acqua di Gio Profumo, you go with a lot of expectations, but then like I found those fragrances a bit generic and common. The smell I didn't. I like things that are unique, even if it's a bit. Even if I don't like them much, I appreciate the fact that there's some creativity that was put into it and it smells unique. I like unique fragrances, not the safe ones. But this I found to be completely it was this is the only fragrance that was exceeded my expectations. It is such a beautiful scent. I have not tried this yet. Like I wore it only once, I guess, but I am not. I'm yet to start wearing this, and then hopefully I'll do another video about the performance. But I think this has been discussed enough with these fragrance channels, so I probably do that for new upcoming fragrances. Uh, for now, I'm just giving you guys this impression that I have, whether these fragrances are up to the hype or what. Okay, the next fragrance is Versace Dylan Blue. So this one I got. Oh shit. Ah. I actually wanted to buy fresh fragrance. I generally don't like fresh fragrances because it's pretty much all of the fragrances have the citrus, and I'm not a big fan of citrus. It is fresh, but I generally don't prefer citrus fragrances. And that's the reason I was not impressed with Dior Sauvage or Acqua di Gio Profumo or Blue de Chanel. They all were kind of they all smell the same to me. I don't know if my nose is like, I'm not an expert, as I said again. But this one, even though it is a fresh fragrance, even though it is a blue fragrance, this it's a little bit different from those other fragrances that I just mentioned. And the opening is like amazing. Wow, this is, and I've always liked Versace. I actually went planning to buy Versace Eros, but Jeremy Fragrance gives Eros. I mean, he ranks Eros as one of the best fragrances, clubbing fragrances. I go to clubs a lot, although not now, like due to COVID and everything. So I actually went intending to buy Eros, but I didn't like Eros that much. But this one, I really liked it. It's a great fragrance, this Dylan Blue one. And this is probably the only these fresh blue fragrance that I'll buy. I don't think I'm ever going to buy another fresh citrusy fragrance. And okay, the last one is actually, it's not actually one fragrance, but it is like it's a two fragrance. This is a pipe tobacco by Demerara and Ob de Bo by L'Occitane. So there's this one channel that I believe Redolescence or something. So I really like the Tom Ford Tobacco Vanilla. It's a brilliant fragrance, but and I out of these fragrances that get reviewed and rated a lot, I I smell almost all of the fragrances that these YouTube channels typically rate, and I didn't like most of them. Like I found them to be really generic and everything. Again, there's this opening and dry downs, but you can't test dry downs unless you have the bottle and then you try it out for yourself, right? So, but the first impression, I didn't like them that much. But for some reason, Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille, I find his fragrances to be really unique and very creative. And this is one of such fragrances that I really like it. Tobacco Vanilla is an amazing fragrance. And this YouTube channel, Redolescence, I watched a video saying like, if you layer these two fragrances, it pretty much gives you the same smell as Tom Ford Tobacco Vanilla. And this costed me just 100 Australian dollars. This one was like $30, and this one was like $70 or something. And Tobacco Vanilla cost like around 350, I guess, over here in Sydney. I can't spend that much. Like I'm just getting into this fragrance thing, and I don't want to spend that much. Probably in the future, I'll probably, if I get really crazy about fragrances, and if I get some really good feedback for these fragrance videos, I probably will go ahead and start reviewing. Otherwise, I don't think I'll be doing this. This dimmer is by itself is a great one. Pipe tobacco. I've started to like tobacco a lot because of this. This is it's a very good smell that you have, and if you mix this to it, it pretty much gives you that Tom Ford tobacco vanilla fragrance. And there's one another fragrance that came along with this thing as a sample. I bought this from a Lore Perfumery or something like that in Melbourne, and they sent me a sample of this thing called Juliet. Juliet has a gun, another oud. So now I've smelled some oud fragrances like Tom Ford tobacco oud and oud wood and whatnot. They are a bit too heavy for my taste. I understand that about oud, like it can be overpowering and all that. That's exactly how I felt when I smelled other oud. But this one, this Juliet has a gun, for some reason I really liked it, and because the oud wasn't, it is not that heavy in this fragrance. So I kind of like that oud. So I don't have the sample as of now. I don't know where I've kept it, but I just wanted to point that out. If you guys are interested in oud fragrances, then you probably, if you don't like oud, as in if you don't like overpowering oud, then probably you can try another oud by Juliet Has a Gun. It is available, I think, in Sephora here in Sydney. So yeah, that's it. So this is currently my favorite fragrance. It's like my top number one fragrance as of now. Oh, wow. Amazing. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Bye bye. This is JDP.